Well, hi YouTubers, hi, I'm back with the 6 months 60 books, and it is a debut novel that came out in 2015. Got turned into a film. I haven't seen a film, so I'm going to spoil this book with no problems because it's been out for like 5 years. And let me read the blurb, even though it's everything, and I think everyone knows the story of this. Okay, live life in a bubble or risk everything for love. Maddie is allergic to the world. She hasn't left the house in 17 years. Ollie is the boy next door. He's determined to find a way to reach her. Everything is about the crazy risks we take for love. Okay. It's by Nicola Yoon. Lives in LA with her husband and daughter. It's her first novel. Okay, kudos. Right, so. Now, obviously, I'm going to spoil this book like you wouldn't believe, but I didn't particularly like it. This is how it starts. This is page 3. Shid, S-C-I-D row. My disease is as rare as it is famous. It is a form of severe combined immunodeficiency, but you know it as bubble baby disease. Basically, I'm allergic to the world. Anything can trigger a bout of sickness. It could be the chemicals in the cleaner used to wipe the tables that I just touched. It could be someone's perfume. It could be the exotic spices in the food I just ate. It could be one or all or none of these things. Or something else entirely. No one knows the triggers, but everyone knows the consequences. According to my mum, I almost died as an infant. So I stay on Shid Road, and I don't leave Shid Row. I don't leave my house. Have not left my house in 17 years. Right, so it's the story of a woman who's trapped. She's trapped in this bubble. She's trapped in this bubble house. Okay? This bit here, because her mum, and this is where my own red flags raised immediately, because she lives in this basically a palatial mansion where you got to be like hermetically like cleaned before you even set foot in the place. Okay? And her mum's a doctor and fabulously wealthy. I mean, this. And the fact is her mum's a doctor, I just thought was my first red flag. Here we go. She puts on her stethoscope so she can listen to my heartbeat. Her smile fades is replaced by a more serious doctor's face. This is the face her patients more often see. Slightly distant, professional and concerned. I wanted to find it comforting. Impulsively, I give her a quick kiss on the forehead to remind her that it's just me, her favourite patient, her daughter. She opens her eyes, smiles and caresses my cheek. I guess if you're going to be born with an illness that requires constant care, it's good to have your mum as a doctor. Oh, that's foreshadowing. That is foreshadowing. Okay, so essentially, her and Ollie and me drew to a bunk cake that's thrown on the roof. Okay, that kind of amused me, which doesn't decompose. Okay, and it's they so Skype, text, emails. Okay, and they start to get close, and essentially, Maddie wants to escape. Maddie decides to escape. She decides to go to Hawaii. Okay, so she builds this clandestine plan. You see a bit of Ollie's life as well, but all of it is seen through Maddie's point of view. And basically, Ollie's family's got quite an abusive father, lots of fighting, lots of shouting, and it's interesting being like an outsider looking in on this because you see Maddie in her hermetically sealed, perfect world. Okay, looking out at life outside, even though it's violent, it's still life, it's still living. And yes, here we go. And the fact is, Maddie is so restrained. Like this bit here. In his tutoring, I've only met Mr. Waterman in person twice. Usually all my tutoring includes architecture. Including architecture takes place via Skype. I'm making a special exemption this week. I think still feeling bad about Carl and Ollie's visit from a couple of weeks ago. Told she had nothing to feel bad about, but she insisted. Having a visitor is a big deal because I have to go to a medical background check and a thorough physical. Also had to be decontaminated. It's basically getting a high-speed air bath for about an hour. It's a pain to come and see me. Okay. Yeah, that is what you have to do to see Maddie. She has no friends. She has no life. She's just stuck in this house, in this bubble. Okay? So, tension really starts building, okay, when Ollie's sister Cara and Ollie come over to visit. They go for the whole kind of bubble bath thing. They get caught. And the tension starts to build. And tension starts to build in Ollie's own life as well. This bit here. Okay? My second red flag, by the way. Again, Ollie rushes between them, his parents. But this time his dad is ready. Quicker than ever seen him. He lets go of Ollie's mum, grabs the collar of Ollie's shirt and punches him in the stomach. His mum screams, I'm screaming too. He punches him again. I don't know what happened next because I pull away from my mum and I'm running. I don't think, I just move. I fly out of the room and down in the hall. I through the airlock and out the door in no time. I don't know where I'm going, but I have to get to him. I don't know what I'm doing, but I have to protect him. I sprint across our grass to the edge of the lawn closer to Ollie's house. His father is lounging for him when I scream stop. They both freeze momentarily in place and look at me, shocked. His dad drunkenness catches up to him. He stumbles back up the steps and into the house. His mum follows. Ollie bends over, holding his stomach. Are you all right? I ask. Go back, he says. My mum grabs my arm and tries to pull me away. I'm vaguely aware that she's hysterical. He's stronger than I ever would have thought, but I need to see Ollie is stronger. And after that, basically, the clothes are removed, clothes are, decontaminated, and it's like Maddie's world gets tighter. It gets tighter. It gets so restrained. Her Carla, her nurse, is fired, and you can see this tension building. Okay, the fact is that Maddie needs to escape. She's dying. She's living yet dying, and so they escape to Hawaii. She gets herself a passport. She gets clothes going, and she literally escapes with Ollie. Okay. And then you find out, because essentially, whilst on this trip, Maddie has a moment, an episode, okay? Turns out, no, she has a compromised immune system. She just picked up a virus because, is a spoiler, she was never sick to begin with, at all. Her mother has basically mentally abused her, physically mentally abused her all her life, due to the fact that Maddie had a sibling, and her father passed away, and it basically made her mum go off the deep end and literally forced Maddie into this bubble, which in a way has totally screwed up Maddie's immune system, her social interaction with people. And this bit here, this is quite late in the book, okay? This is when she's talking to her doctor. Sorry, I'm talking to her mum. Am I sick? I asked. My blood beats too loudly in my ears. What did you say? Am I sick? I said louder this time. Her burgeoning anger dissipates, replaced by concern. Do you feel sick? Freezes out her hand to touch me, but I push it away. The hurt on my face makes me slightly ill. No, that's what I mean. Do I have SID? SCID. Her concern morphs into expression and little pity. Is it still about the letter? Yes, I say, and Carla too. She said that maybe you weren't okay. Meaning what? What am I accusing her of exactly? Where are the papers? I demand. Takes a deep breath. Madeline Whittier. What are you talking about? The records of everything, but there's nothing about Sid in here. Why can't I find it? I grabbed the red folder from the ground and shoved it at her. You have everything else. What are you talking about? She asked. Of course it isn't here. I don't really know what I was expecting her to say, but it was not it. Does she really believe it's all here? She walks over to her desk and clears the space. I watch her as she examines the files, rearranging them and smoothing her hands over pages. I don't need smoothing. After a while, she looks up at me. Did you take them? I know. They were in there. Her voice is thick with confusion and also fear. And that's when I know for sure. I'm not sick, and I never have been. Okay. Nothing like there's more pages. Okay. So, this is where I think the story falls apart, because this is like the big climax. This is where Maddie finds out she's been in a bubble her entire life. She's denied friends. She's denied social interaction. She's denied everything. And yet, it seems that her abuser, her mother, gets away with it. I would have gone out there and called the police. I would have got the hospital that she works at to launch an investigation, because if this woman is so deranged that she locks her child up in a house for 18 years, shouldn't she be investigating along with the people that she's been treating? Okay? Because she's not in the right state of mind. Yet she seems to get away with it. She actually gets away with it. Maddie keeps living at the house. Maddie lives with her abuser. What the hell? You know, she's making plans to escape. This book, I will give it some props for depth. But the climax is, essentially, this is a story about a woman who was abused her entire life, escapes, finds out that she never was sick at all, and her abuser gets away with it. And that is the point that I don't like about the story. How I praise the writing style. I generally enjoyed that. But at that point, no. No. Now, I haven't seen the film. Maybe if I watched the film, it's like My Sister's Keeper. where the sister dies in the film of a sister's keeper and lives in the book. The dying sister, who I didn't particularly like that much anyway. Um, yeah, maybe I could watch the film. Maybe that ending is different. Maybe it's you see with her mum getting in the back of a police car in handcuffs, ready to be charged with this because that's abuse. But anyway, however, I praise the writing style, but I don't like the ending. The twist I didn't mind, but the climax wasn't that great. However, everything by Nicola Yoon, great debut. Kudos to you. Anyway, sign off here, and bye now.